All right, so I just wanted to send out this quick thing here. Hopefully that'll give you a tool to step back and take a look at midterm results, and it really ties in with what we've been talking about in our department meetings with regards to both reviewing, like full year review, making sure that we hit those things so that they don't just learn something and then never come back to it, and also identifying the weaknesses that our kids have in our particular classes. So on my Haiku page, you can see I already created one, but what I did was create a poll, and I'm assuming that most of us are going to go back over the midterm results on our first day back, or at least within the first day or two. But what I did was create a poll on Haiku for my class, and you can see that on that poll it essentially just lists out all the question numbers. So it looks like a lot, but I'll show you in a second. It's really pretty quick. What I'm going to have my guys do is I'm going to hand back the midterms. We'll go over them, and then after that I'm going to have them go through and check all of the problems that they missed. And what this will do is it'll basically identify what problems they've struggled with, so that I can then use those results moving forward this semester and solidify some of those concepts or problems or content that they indicated they didn't understand from the midterm. So a couple different things before I show you how to do this. Number one, in our next department meeting, we are going to have a little bit of a discussion just to kind of stem off of what the weaknesses of our kids are and what those content areas that they must have coming out of your class. We're going to have a discussion about what the midterm indicated on those particular content areas, and what what the grades and what the individual problems that the kids missed can tell us moving forward, and how we can address that moving forward. I'm planning on personally making this a kind of bell work thing, so we're going to do a little bit of spiral review at the beginning of each class. I'll just give them a problem or two to work on at the beginning. We'll spend 5 to 10 minutes talking about those particular problems and just refreshing them on the approach to those particular problems, and then we'll move into the new content. You can use it however you want, but again, like we talked about, we want to make sure that we're identifying where they're weak and making sure that we're going back and hitting those areas so that they can get refreshed and they can get solidified in those content areas. All right, in order to create this poll, it's really easy. You go into your Haiku page and you add a content block. And under content block, it'll actually pop. This tab will be highlighted when you first click on it, but we're going to click on messages and activities. And under messages and activities, you'll see polls. So click on polls. We're going to create a poll. So your poll pops up here. Insert your title. So midterm analysis, something along those lines. Type in whatever message you want to type in here to your kids. Maybe it's directions. Some need a little bit more specific directions than others. The last thing that you want to make sure that you do before you enter your choices here is we want students only to take it. And we want to check this box down here, allow selection of multiple choices, and that allows them to go through and check every single one that they missed instead of just choosing one. After that, all you're going to do is you're going to enter your problem numbers, and that'll indicate to the kids. They'll go through their test and they'll say, hey, I missed number 1, so I'm going to go ahead and check that box. 2, if you got multiple parts, obviously you want like 1A, 1B, all that stuff. Once you've exhausted these 3 options, you just click add a choice, and you can continue to go through and add all of your numbers, however many problems you had on that midterm. So we'll go up to like 20 maybe. Now one thing that I will say is, as I'm adding these in, it only allows you for 30 choices. So if you have problems that are like redundant, like on this, let's say problem 12 and 13 are pretty much the same problem, you just wanted to throw a couple on there. Maybe you want to do that by 12 and adding 12 and 13 under the same selection if you have more than 30 problems. So we're just going to go through, add our options. Like I said, I'm going to go up to 20. Let's combine a couple more here, 19 and 20. Let's say we're the same problem, so we'll put that under the same selection. And after that, we click Next. Oh, question can't be blank, so we do need some directions up here. Just type in some directions for the poll, something simple, or if you want to be more specific, include specific directions up there. So we're going to indicate, we want to see results after the poll closes, and you want to indicate a particular date. So I just did mine on like the 18th. And then choose a spot. And that's it. You'll see it pop up here. And once you're done going over your midterm, if that's what you're going to do, ask your kids to go back through their test and choose all of the options, or choose all of the selections where they missed a particular problem. At the end, those poll results will tell you exactly what problems they struggled with. You can look back at the test and then say, hey, they really struggled with like writing equations of lines or graphing or whatever it might be. All right, I do, again, just want to reiterate that we are going to talk about the midterm results at our next meeting. So whether you're going to do this or you're going to do something else in order to analyze what your midterms are telling you and what questions your kids did well with and they didn't do well with, make sure that you have something prepared for our next meeting. And I'll give you a reminder of this later.